Welcome to DASGeek. This is our weekly tech news segment where I deliver to your brain directly the top tech news headlines while playing some games. And this week I'm going all retro with System Shock 2. I actually never played this game before. I know it was very popular when it originally came out, and for whatever reason it just never got on my radar, and it should have. I'm having a lot of fun right now, but I'm just stumbling through the tutorials and trying to figure out how everything works. And I hear you can really make a lot of mistakes in developing your character, so I'm trying to be pretty careful in how I do that. But if you've played this game and you have some advice, because I hear you can really screw up your later gameplay if you don't pay attention, then please leave it below in the comments. I'm not above cheating in games. So this game was on Steam for around $9, and so far I think it's certainly worth every penny of that. So if you've not played this game, go check it out. You gotta look past the graphics, which I think for the time were pretty good, but the gameplay looks a lot of fun and a lot of cool environments and jump scare stuff that I've seen so far. So very cool. And this week we've had a lot of fun videos, starting with our review, of course, of Star Trek Beyond. And I've received lots of comments on the new term coined elves that I released in that video. So that's been quite fun. And if you don't get what that means, then you're too young to understand galactic conquesting. So just wait a few years and it'll come to you eventually. But next week I will have some more hardware reviews for you and some more geek content. I try to bring 3 or more videos per week for your entertainment. So if you like what you see, then please hit subscribe and we will have more. I also want to thank all the new subs this week. You spoil me with your click foo of that subscription button. Still a very young channel, but we've grown in subs exponentially, so I appreciate all the love and support that you've shown me there. So now on to the news. Microsoft is in the news this week. Their Windows 10. The free, forced, mandatory Skynet upgrade offer expires today. So if you've not felt harassed or violated by Windows 10 consistent and ruthless offer to forcibly crush your will to hold out on upgrading, well, today is your last chance, and this may be the last time you get a Windows 10 upgrade interrupting your workflow. If you don't want to upgrade, and you still refuse, then perhaps there's finally that relief in sight and Windows will quit taking over your desktop with their forced integration system. However, if you've been on the fence, today is the day that you want to go ahead and move over, because it's the last time it will be free. And overall, Windows 10 is a pretty decent operating system, minus the horrible way that they released their free option for Windows 10. A really nice gesture that they really screwed up by constantly harassing you with. This is a very good operating system. It's more stable than past iterations. So click that upgrade button now. I'm sure it's on your screen, actually probably this moment asking you to. And you need to click it. Seriously. You better click it right now. Microsoft is watching you. They've turned on your webcam. Are you sure you don't want to upgrade? Are you sure you want to suspend notifications? Let us go ahead and install it anyways. It'll be okay. Please, don't leave us. Of course, Microsoft has also announced the layoff of 2,800 more employees, which is about 10% of their workforce this year. And all of that is due because you have still not clicked that upgrade button. If you click it right now, those poor employees could be feeding their children, have money in their pockets. Click it. Why aren't you clicking it? All right, next news story. Twitter. Twitter is making the news this week. They are streaming their first esports competition. Counter-Strike Global Offense competition kicks off today at 5 p.m. and heads into Saturday, where there will be a prize pool of substantial value. I say that because I've heard reports from 250,000 to 1.5 million in prizes. I'm not sure which one it is or if I'm even close. Don't take my word for it. Anyways, I think it's a lot of money. And Twitch will be streaming this event as well. So you can go on Twitter and watch the stream there, kind of like they did with the, presidential convention things that went on this weekend. If you were looking to be, catered to and every one of your dreams and wishes to come true, and hear somebody mention them to you, whisper sweet nothings in your ear, then you might have tuned into those live convention streams, whether it's the Republican or Democrat, and you would have heard all those sweet nothings whispered into your ear. And Twitter did a really good job of hosting some of them. They seem to run really well, so it'll be very interesting to see Twitter getting into the gaming market. I think that's really good for them. I like Twitter. It deserves a bigger spot, I think, in the social media hierarchy. Facebook and the other sites are just far too invasive for my taste, and I find them ultimately disappointing, especially when you find out how dumb most of your friends are. Twitter forces people to keep their thoughts short, so you end up still liking them after they post something, whereas Facebook allows them way too much room to explain their positions on things, and then you just end up hating them. So next in the news, Nintendo. You guys know I've had a lot of fun with my Wii U that I've gotten recently. I know I'm a little late to that game, and right around the corner is Nintendo's new NX system, and rumors are abounding this week. Some images showing what appears to be a tablet-like device, maybe similar to the Wii U gamepad, and surrounding it there are two controllers which are attached to the screen but are detachable, so you can take them off, and this allows you to take your games on the go and plug it into a dock and play on your TV monitor. And people are saying that it might be two separate controllers, so you could, have two players playing on this portable device at once. And Nintendo really has dominated the portable gaming market outside of phones, of course, for console makers. So, Sony has a system, but it really isn't in the same popularity scale as the 3DS. So I think the fact that they've decided, when I contemplate their decision, to make kind of a portable / console system is probably a perfect fit when you look at the third-party support and IPs that they have. A lot of third parties do create games for the 3DS, but not necessarily for the Wii U, clearly. So combining those two technologies together may help get them a nice launch platform for games. So some portable, maybe lower end, quicker to make games, as well as some of your high-end console games. It will be interesting, though, to see what they do with the VR problem, because VR is really just starting to take off. I know there have been some rumors that Nintendo has some plans with VR, but what those will be very interesting. You've got Sony and Microsoft and everyone else really jumping into this VR market. What will Nintendo bring there? I think that Nintendo's going to have to answer what they're doing with the VR market for their console to be a huge success. And I really hope they do strike gold, as competition's always welcome, and Nintendo does do a lot of things right. Speaking of VR, Steam is doing a massive sale on VR games this weekend, so if you are in the market or just purchased your VR headset, or you're about to purchase one, you might want to head there and get some games on the cheap. It might make you feel better about that $700 purchase you just made. But go check that out if you're getting one of the VR systems compatible with Steam. And while we're on the topic of gaming, if you miss playing Dungeons and Dragons with your friends, if you grew up, got a job, had some kids, and moved away from all those friends, then Roll20, ROLL20, might just have a solution for you. The popular virtual desktop site has partnered with Wizards of the Coast, and you can now officially play virtually any of the desktop D&D iterations with your friends, using the power of the internet, webcams, Mountain Dew, and some Cheetos. It'll just be like you're there with them in person. They never left. So you can get on your social media now and tell your friends to cancel their plans for the weekend. There's some D&D going down, and Roll20's bringing it to you. I've seen Roll20 used on Twitch, and it's really actually quite an awesome platform, and I can see how it would be a ton of fun. So you and your friends get your webcams out, get the snacks ready, and have a blast. Tell your game master to put on his cloak. It's time for him to return. And finally, we must have a story about NASA in our week. So there are some awesome things happening over there. Juno, of course, is delivering on its mission of capturing scientific data. And a part of that, of course, is some incredible pictures that you can go look out there. Absolutely beautiful on nasa.gov as it orbits Jupiter. And we also have the Curiosity rover, which let's not forget about out there, because Juno's made all the news. It's still out there chilling on Mars, and this amazing piece of technology, is able to choose its own targets and zap them with its lasers and get chemical readings, and providing all kinds of invaluable scientific data in its search for microbial life that might have existed, maybe still exists, Maybe it's not even microbial. Maybe it's giant aliens. But either way, it's out there looking for them. And you can check out some of those pictures and see where it's at on its current mission plan. And also, NASA is preparing to do some test flights with its cargo delivery space plane named Dream Chaser. And these flights will be conducted here on boring old Earth first, but will eventually lead it, hopefully, into space. I love the look of this shuttle Dream Chaser. It looks much like the shuttles that we recently retired. And the shuttles, to me, are far more look like we're actually making advances towards an eventual Star Trek like Enterprise world where we're on spacecraft traveling to planets versus the kind of rocket technology that we've gone back to. And I know it's a technological issue and why we've gone back, and also a cost issue, but I just love the idea of having some real spacecraft out there in space. So it's pretty cool, and you can go check out what it looks like, and they'll be doing some test flights with that and hopefully get it into space soon. And that's it. That's our news for the week. I hope you had an incredible weekend. One more thing I want to mention, my brother actually creates video games, and his game has been greenlit on Steam, which is a huge accomplishment. That game, Gods and Nemesis, is greenlit today, so you can go out there and check it out and join the community as he works to finishing that. He spent years and years and years on that, so it'd be a huge favor for me if you go out there and check out his game on Steam. And make sure you sign up to get any announcements as he gets closer to the release of the demo there. So I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. We'll have more videos for you next week full of all kinds of geeky goodness. So until then, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And as always, get out there and fill your brains.
Don't get subscribed. Does not like the video.